if it sounds too good to be true, if it looks too good to be true, it is probably not true. Hi guys, my name is andiswa.mojapelo and welcome to my channel. If it is your first time here, thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope that you decide to stay and you enjoy the content. We chat about all things related to money and adulting in general over here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you for 300 subscribers, guys. I'm so excited. You have no idea. And I think that the whole purpose of this channel is to just reach out with financial education, to reach out with my personal experiences and what I've learned and what's making me make better decisions as I learn. And, I don't take for granted that it may be 300 people, but those 300 people are supporting other financial lives, which means that I'm not impacting only you guys watching, but I'm also hopefully in the long term impacting your families and the people that you support as well. So thank you so much. I'm super excited about that. And I'm looking forward to us growing and spreading the message as much as possible. So today we are talking about, as you might have seen from the title, 5 money realities that were revealed to me from Squid Game. So guys, I initially thought that I wanted to do money lessons, but then I realized that my top 5 are things that I was actually very aware of previously, and you might have been aware of these things as well, or they may be money lessons if you're not. But I actually was aware of these things, but the way in which they are showcased in the series is phenomenal. And I thought, let me just share these, revelations with you guys and figure out if you have watched the series, did you pick up on the same things? Did you have other lessons, over and above these that you would like to share with us as well? So, for the benefit of the people who have been living under a rock and who haven't gotten time to actually watch the series, let me just start with a quick summary before I share my money realities that were revealed, right? So, the series is basically based on hundreds of people. I think it's 456 people who come together to compete through playing a series of games, which is childhood games. They compete and they play these games in order to work to the ultimate winner. And the ultimate winner wins about 38 million USDs worth of money, which is a lot of money. But it's not your normal childhood games. There are risks, there are deadly risks, in winning the money, because in terms of how the rules work, when you get disqualified and eliminated from the game, you actually get shot and you die. So basically, you are playing with your life. And if you don't make it and if you get disqualified from any of the games, you die. Ultimately, there's one winner. And one other thing is that as the game progresses, each winner is worth a sum of money. So with each winner being eliminated, the prize money accumulates and accumulates. So as people die, it's more money that is then at stake, working towards that ultimate prize money that is then won by the ultimate winner. So that's just a quick summary, guys. And I don't even think it does the series justice, but it's just to give you context in case you don't want to watch the series, but you are interested in these 5 money realities that I'm going to speak about that I got from the series. But I would really encourage that you watch it yourself. I think it is worthwhile. Check it out and let me know how it goes. Okay, without wasting any more time, let's go straight into the money realities. The first thing that was revealed to me is the fact that the amount of money that you have affects and impacts your social status. So it affects how people view you and how they perceive you. And the reason why I say this is because these players are a mixed bag of people. Like, it's different types of people from different environments, okay? But the common thread here is that they are all cash strapped. They've, made some financial decisions that work to their disadvantage, and now they don't have any money to make it out there, right? So that is the common thread, regardless of where they come from. But why I say the amount of money you have actually affects the way people perceive and view you, and this was the first reality, is because in there are surgeons, doctors, probably teachers, entrepreneurs, and other people. It's hundreds of people with different backgrounds. Qualified professionals are also there. But The fact that they are professional does not matter in that case. The fact that they are loving fathers or loving family members or loving sons and all of those things does not seem to matter in society, because when they go out there, they are just perceived as low lives. So the fact that you studied a degree, you had your own practice, and all of these other things don't matter at the end of the day. And I actually watched a podcast episode where someone referred to these people as low lives, right? And I'm sure he was just saying it casually, but that's the reality. When you don't have money and you are down and out and you don't have access to resources, regardless of who you are as a person, whether you are a loving father, like I said, a supportive son, a dedicated daughter, someone who's looking after your family, the way in which society views you when you have nothing, like absolutely nothing, is as a low life, as someone who does not have any worth. Now, obviously, that is not right, but this is one of the realities that were made very clear for me on the onset of the game, that, gosh, regardless of who you are as a human being and what you have and have accumulated, when you come to the point of having nothing, that is how society perceives you. Money reality number two is the fact that being bad with money does not mean you are stupid. Being bad with money does not mean that you have a low IQ level or you are dumb or any of those words. A lot of people struggle with their finances, regardless of the qualifications that they have. That means that you are not weird or an outcast if you find that you are challenged, with money and making good financial decisions. This is because this was not taught to us at school. So the reason I say that this reality was revealed to me is because in there were people who made bad investment decisions, were people who gambled, were people who took on more debt than they could afford. But these people were professionals. They came some from good homes and started out okay. But due to these bad financial decisions, they actually ended up finding themselves cash strapped and under financial strain. It does not mean that those people's IQ levels were low. I mean, when you watch the series, you see some people perform operations in there. You see people use their good IQ levels to actually figure out how to outsmart the games and all of those things. That means that these people are not stupid. They're not dumb. They don't lack skills or IQ levels. The problem is that they don't know how to handle money, or they made bad financial decisions, either because they were ill-informed or any other reason. So the second money reality is definitely that being bad at money does not mean you are stupid. It does not mean you are less than. It just means that you haven't been privy to the financial lessons and experiences and education in order to make better, well-informed decisions. Money reality number three that was revealed to me is that financial freedom is the freedom. Okay, let me say that again. Financial freedom is the freedom. And let me tell you guys why I think that, right? Because at some stage in the game, you are actually given an opportunity to leave the game. So they're given an opportunity to quit. So remember that when they initially got into the game, they didn't realize that they were playing with their lives. They thought that they were just going to play normal childhood games and whoever won would win and the others would go home. But this is not the case. And as soon as they realize that, it starts scaring the deed out of them. Okay. And they decide that, you know what? Our lives are not worth this. We are quitting. We are leaving this game. We'd rather be alive than, working towards this money and risking our lives in the process, and the lives, obviously, of our family members that we take care of. So they go to a vote and they decide that they are done. They are no longer playing this game, and they go back to their realities where there's no money, there's high debt, there's people looking, for them because they owe them money and all of those things. And whilst they are outside, reality hits and they realize that, sure, this is not the life I want to live. This is not where I want to be. I don't want to be the kind of man who can't provide for my family. I don't want to be the kind of woman who can't buy food and put it on the table. So then they decide to go back into the game. Okay. Most of the people actually go back into the game and they risk their lives. And that to me revealed the reality that even though they had their freedom, financial freedom was where it was at. They were willing to risk their lives in order to go back into that game, and there was no guarantee of winning. What was more guaranteed was actually death, because there can only be one winner out of the hundreds of them. But they were willing to risk it for that financial freedom, because when they went out there and they were cash strapped with nothing, I feel like they almost felt like, what was the point of living in the first place? If you can't even take care of yourself and those that you love. And that's why I say that the third money reality that was definitely revealed for me was that financial freedom is the freedom. Money reality number four is the fact that when it comes to money, if it sounds too good to be true, if it looks too good to be true, it is probably not true. And why I say this is because initially they thought they were just going to play these games for this ton of money, like a lot of money, and they were just going to play childhood games and all of that. But then they realized the fact that they are gambling with their lives. And that's genuinely the relationship between money and risk. So I sometimes see people, promising you that if you give me 5,000 Rand today, I'll give you 100,000 tomorrow or at the end of the month or whatever. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And this group of people realize that you're not going to get, almost 38 million USD or around 38 million USD just by playing childhood games. That's not realistic. And that's not how money works. If you want your money to work for you and to grow, you need to invest time, you need to invest effort, you need to, especially time, you need to invest all of those things. And it just doesn't happen overnight. So reality number 4 was definitely that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And they learned that when they realized that what was at stake to win the money was actually their lives. Money reality number 5, which is the last one. And I know that at first, when you hear this, you're going to be like, but this contradicts everything else. But it doesn't. Money reality number 5 is the fact that money is not everything. Did I just say that? Yes, money is not everything. Contrary to popular belief, more and more and more and more money will not solve all of your problems. I know for me it'll solve most, but it doesn't solve all of your problems, guys. And we see this at the end. And this is a spoiler alert for the people who are still watching and who haven't reached the end. This is a spoiler alert. We see at the end that the gentleman who wins the money, he starts going through an emotional mental roller coaster. He actually ends up not using, this money that he's won. He's literally a millionaire. Like, he could buy and do anything that he wants. But upon returning back to his life, he finds out that he's lost his mother, that he really cherished. And, part of making these sacrifices to win the money was for her. It was to provide for her. It was to be there for her, to give her all the things that he wished he could, that money could buy. But she's no longer there. And he can't buy her life back. He can't bring her back to life. That's not something you purchase with a specific amount. And now his daughter has also moved away. She lives part of another family. So obviously, while he was busy working towards these goals, relationships were being built, relationships that you can't buy with money. So money is definitely an enabler. Money is very important. It's a great resource to have. But we learn at the end that it's not everything, because he literally crumbles at the thought of what he had to sacrifice, at the thought of who had to die, at the thought of how many people had to die in order for him to not even be able to do all the things that he wanted to do. So I'll repeat, money is an enabler. It's very important. There's little that we can do without it. And that's why these guys are playing the game. But we realize at the end that it's also not everything. So I think it's important for us to realize a balance and to, have a balance between the two. Manage money, grow money, build wealth, but also realize the important things in life that money cannot buy. And that is the last money reality that was revealed for me. Guys, I really had a lot of fun reflecting on the, money lessons and the money revelations and realities that I saw come from the series. So if you have any to share, either ones that I've mentioned that you resonate with or ones that I didn't mention, please don't hesitate to share them in the comment section. And if you did enjoy this video, please give me a huge thumbs up and do consider subscribing to the channel so I can see you in the next one. Bye.